Blog Talk Radio.
Good day. This is Peggy Haleve, and I'm so excited to be here and launch the show based on the art of appreciation. And I welcome people to give in. I'm hoping, I'm winking this, so it's a first time, and I'm probably not as nervous as I am, or probably a little nervous too, but I'm more wondering what's going to happen and what the law of attraction is going to bring to this. I know that I feel personally that it's important for me to appreciate, and I feel it's a gift. Actually, it's more than a gift, because a gift you can say you want or not, or you can take and throw away. But appreciating for me is something quite different, because it's like a purpose. It's something that I know I have choice. I can do it, or I can decide to do something else with my time. Yet I feel that I have really little choice in this. It's a purpose that I feel is intended into my life, and I feel it's a purpose that has been given to me at this particular time of mankind and of my time too. And the reason is because I feel there is a transition that's taking place, and that we need to learn certain ways in which we can deal with this transition. So as a light worker I state very similarly that my intentions are to provide mechanisms to help myself first and to teach others too. Anyway, I thought I'd start out talking about some of the things that I wrote this morning that really relate to why I appreciate. So I'll read them to you. They came out of me kind of easily, and I hope you can relate to them. What I did is I wanted to answer the question, I appreciate because. So I wrote this. I appreciate because I know that it leads me to a better feeling place. I appreciate because my heart tells me it is good to do. I appreciate because it reveals myself to me in ways that are deep and rich with understanding and with wisdom. I appreciate because it is one of the ways in which I feel prepared to invite my inner being into communication with me. I appreciate because it sorts up the good in my life. I appreciate because it feels good. I appreciate because I have attracted so much to appreciate into my life. I appreciate because if in shared appreciation, I learn so much about the ones I appreciate with. I appreciate because it is a way in which I come to see life's God force. I appreciate because it feels like a prayer to do so. I appreciate because I grow awareness of self in doing so. I appreciate because it balances my thoughts and brings steadfast alignment with the positive aspects in my life. I appreciate because it is a gift I am given. I appreciate because it is right for me. I appreciate because in so doing I feel loved. I appreciate because I know it is in my life's purpose. I appreciate because it is a tool for me and all to use to improve. I appreciate because I have the choice to, the right to, the desire to, and the ability to. I appreciate because I can learn and teach in this platform. I appreciate because I am a great appreciator. So anyway, that's how I started my day today. And from there, I was able to really tap into a very nice voice within me. And it said for me to do this. I'm smiling, and it said smile, and your audience will feel that vibration. So here you go. Oh, right now I have a call coming in, and it's a 631 area code. And how about we find out who it is? As I started this appreciation show, I sent to several of the people that I know who really enjoy appreciating a list of things that I also put on my face page today, or not my face page, my and there were some questions that I was asking, and let me get that list. Okay, the first one was, I appreciate this about the sharing of positive thoughts openly, because this is new, this is an experience, and it's an experiment too. And we're experimenting with appreciating out loud and openly in public. And I thought that it would be interesting to hear what people have to say about sharing positive thoughts openly. And the second one was, I appreciate this about the experience I am having on this day. And the third, I appreciate my life because. The fourth, I appreciate this about what I see looking outside my window today. And the fifth is, I appreciate this about what I am manifesting into my future. And I chose those, and I have a group of them here that were emailed to me that I'd like to share. And before we start to do that, I'd also like to say that I chose those appreciations so that I would have variety in the results. So first of all, let me see if I can answer this. Again, I'm winging it with a bunch of angels here. So let's see what happened. Anybody here? Oh. My husband just informed me I pushed the wrong button and I hung up. So please call me back. I would appreciate that. And while I'm at it, I'd like to introduce my husband. Come back here, you. This is Uri, and he is the light of my life. He's been helping me manage doing this, and I'd just like him to say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And while we're waiting for the caller to call back, maybe I could start out with how I answered that particular question, if I can find it. Oh, here's the call coming back.
Just click on
Let me see. I'm going to click you in. Oh.
Click on the hand.
Oh, click on the hand. Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Now
are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. This is Jana from New York.
Wow. Well, welcome. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Jana is one of my friends on Facebook, and we've been following each other for quite a while. Thank you for joining.
Oh, God, it's my pleasure, and I love and appreciate that you're doing this.
Thank you much. I feel the same way. I feel like it's something I've been meaning to do, and here it is happening.
I'm glad you got around to it. One of the things that I love about you posting all your things every day is it reminds me always what I'm appreciating, and I have always made a habit of doing appreciations the first thing when I wake up in the morning and the last thing when I go to bed at night. And I've encouraged my clients to do the same. So over the years, a lot of people have learned about saying their thank yous and appreciating what they do have in their life that works, especially when they're focusing on problems.
Yes, indeed. Because when you are thinking about a problem and you're starting to do an appreciation, because of the nature of appreciating, which is an absolute positive term, one has to convert anything that might be concluded at the moment as a problem into a solution.
Right, exactly.
When you start appreciating, you have to put things in a positive tense.
Right. And you have to look for the good that's in your life. You have to look for the good that's happening.
What a perfect thing to do.
Because there's always good. There is among all the other stuff. There's always good. So I'm appreciating that you're doing this today.
I am too.
And I am appreciating that I have this wonderful life to learn and explore who I am as a spiritual being, and all the powers that are ours in learning this and in learning who we really are. And I appreciate my opportunity to learn this in this lifetime.
How do you feel about appreciating and sharing your appreciation openly like this?
I think it's really important for us, and that's why I love that you post your appreciations on Facebook, because I think it's really important for us to remember the things that we can appreciate that we forget. So I think that it's important for us to do this in a way where people can share the things that they appreciate. I mean, when I say sometimes to my clients, I appreciate that I live in a place where I'm free, people take that for granted in this country. So I think that's really important. You know, I appreciate that I live in a place where I can pick the work that I do. I appreciate that I have the freedom to be with my family as I wish. You know,
I appreciate freedom that I can think whatever I please to think.
Yeah. And I think that's really lovely that we can share that and we can remind each other of that. And I think that's the value of appreciating out loud.
Yes, indeed. One of my friends on Facebook, Eileen Cylon, she wrote in an appreciation that I want to share. And it is that she wrote, I appreciate how sharing my positive thoughts openly reminds me of the joy that I truly am and supports creating more joy in others. Mm-hmm. You know, it's that absolute understanding of sharing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really important. I think it really is. So I'm going to click off right now, but I'm really happy you're doing this. And you're going to do this weekly?
I'm hoping to. I think that, you know, it's an interesting way to approach appreciating by converting it into an art form. Mm-hmm. And yet I definitely have that as a gift in my life and in my heart and my knowledge. And I think that if I can find ways in which I can grow a program like this that interacts with people, because I think it's a fantastic way to appreciate is to share appreciations.
Yeah.
You know, if I can do that over a course of time whereby I'm learning and teaching how to make an appreciation an art form, mm-hmm. You know, because I believe it is, and I think it's an understatement, you know, and it is something whose time is here for us to learn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I definitely appreciate you being here, and I have another call coming in.
Okay.
Do you want to be online while they are on?
I have to go. Someone's waiting for me, but I would like to continue this the next time.
Okie dokie. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, now it says no caller, so I think I pushed the wrong button again. The other thing is that I have this on a phone that has a call waiting capability, and I think there was another call coming in on my house phone, which may have confused my phone system. I don't know. But if there was another caller, I apologize. I'm trying to find that hand up. I don't know what that means, but I think it means it's time to answer the call, or the call is ready to be answered. So there was a call. Oh, here it is again. So I'm learning. I'm winging. Does everyone feel the angels helping me fly this way? So let me press on it. Oh, I press here?
No, wait.
Oh, I have to wait until it answers. So I'll do that. In the meantime, I also wanted to read another appreciation that was sent in. And let's take that second appreciation with I appreciate this about the experience I am having this day. Oh, is somebody on the air? Hello? Oh. Okay, if somebody's there, speak up.
Can you hear me, Peggy?
Oh, I can.
You were both learning. This is Pam.
Hi, Pam. I'm so
Pam
surprised.
Adair, yeah.
It's such an easy flow that sometimes I'm trying too hard to make it happen here, and all I have to do is just let it happen.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Pam. How are you? You got up early today.
Oh, I did get up early. And we have what I'm appreciating today is I have a tree trimmer coming that is giving me more light into my house.
Oh, wow.
It's really nice. With every branch he cuts off, there's more light.
Oh, yeah, that is so nice. I had written an appreciation this morning about my home, and I said I appreciated the warmth of my home and the light that it brings in. You know, and our houses are our homes, and that light is just so magically wonderful.
It is, and I'm actually moving to the other part of my house because he's going to be doing the chainsaw in a minute. I appreciate I have someplace else I can go.
So we all appreciate that.
I know. In fact, I just moved into my daughter's room. She's gone for a couple of weeks, and she's got the view out the front of our house, which is looking all across. It's a big vista, and it's really pretty. And I appreciate this vista because it's different every day. Some days there's, like right now there's a layer of clouds out there. There's balloons. Oh, there's balloons out there. And sometimes there's big rainbows and hawks that just soar. I just appreciate having this view. I've had it for 23 years, and it never bores me.
Oh, wow. That is such a statement for appreciation, because in appreciating it all those years, it just keeps getting better and better.
And when people come over and comment on it, it's like, I'm so glad that I haven't gotten to the point where I don't notice it, that I do.
Oh, that's fantastic. I, too, have a view. We all have a view out our windows. I mean, that's what windows do. They give us a view. And I think regardless of whatever your view is, it's something to appreciate. I have found that one day I was sitting here in my office, and my office is called the Appreciation Office because it is in here that I wrote the book, The Art of Appreciation. And it's in here where I do a lot of appreciating. And I was looking out the window, and I, too, have a fantastic view of a huge area that wanders and meanders down to the ocean even. So I have this sky. I have all this sky. I always say I have a view of the weather all of the time. And one morning I was looking out, and I was appreciating a cloud. And I said, wow, that's a beautiful cloud. I really appreciate that cloud. And I really wanted to put myself into it. I was experimenting, as I always am, with what appreciations can do and give to me. And I'm looking at the cloud, and I'm appreciating it. So I love that cloud. Well, I sat here a little longer, and I took a look up again, and now there were more clouds. And I thought, wow, it works. The more I appreciate something, the more of that something there is to appreciate.
Well, you might have to be careful with that one. You could create a bunch of weather, Peggy.
So I felt so inclined to start dancing around for rain or something. So we do, I think, have that opportunity, to appreciate whatever we want. Our thoughts are so magnificent, and appreciation is really bringing us that opportunity to look even more at what we're thinking.
Mhm. Yesterday, I found a video on YouTube that was an Abraham video that said something about 10. It was like 10 things I like about whatever, something like that. But I thought, well, what about 10 things I appreciate? So I played with that for a while. 10 things I appreciated about the road I was walking on, 10 things I appreciated about my car, 10 things I appreciate about a woman that I was going to see to have some energy work done yesterday. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
To just set it up that I want to do 10 things I appreciate about, random subjects.
Oh, I think it's perfect. Do you know that is my essence of my definition of what is the art of appreciation? The art of appreciation is you do one appreciation, and then you do another one, and then you do another one. And it sounds like this is like repetitious, or it's something like you're trying to force yourself to do. But when you start doing them, all of a sudden there comes a place at which they turn around. And as you're doing them, they just come to you instead of you going to them.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah, like they just kind of start spilling in. And then I had, because I was counting them with my fingers. and so all of a sudden, one would come with 3 or 4 all together. And I was like, is that one or is that 3 or 4? Oh, well, I'll just count it as one.
Yeah, I start my sentences. I appreciate. Today was the first time that I wrote, I appreciate because. And I felt that I needed to understand that because I'm doing this show. I really wanted to appreciate why I appreciate. And it's such a gift, that I really feel thrilled in it.
Right. Like, I appreciate, yes. Do you have somebody else coming in?
No. No. But what I really wanted to say is that I appreciate you. And I would appreciate it if you would take this moment here and explain to the audience what it is that you're doing with this 30-day shift. I just think that it's something remarkable, and I'm so honored to have found out about this. I appreciate you and all of the people involved in this program that that you are evolving.
Mm-hmm. We are.
If you would just take a moment out of our art of appreciation, because it is the same thing. It is the same essence.
Oh, and this month it really will be. Because we are going to focus on appreciation. Well, the 30-day shift came out of another group I'm working with called the Women's Prosperity Network, which is about building community, building relationships, sharing resources, and creating riches. And so as I was just thinking, what could we do under this umbrella, this idea popped in to do the 30-day shift, which I have done by myself and with friends before. 30 days, let's focus on a particular thing. So I set up a Facebook group thinking maybe a few people might want to join us. So within a week, we had 1,000 people. And even though we've finished our first 30 days, it ended this last Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, we still have people joining us. And we are going to do a new 30-day shift. So what the 30-day shift is about is picking something you'd like to have shift in your life. I've got somebody trying to call through, so it's going to give a little bleep here. But so you pick something you want to have shift. Mm-hmm. And then this month we're going to focus on appreciation, because we know as we raise our vibration, everything shifts. We don't even have to focus on that particular, like for me this last 30 days, my intention was that I really step more fully into expressing through the Women's Prosperity Network, and all kinds of amazing things have happened for me. So we're a Facebook group. You can find us on Facebook, the 30-day shift. Join us. People every day get a message. One of my partners, Marie Novella, does the message and gives you something to ponder, something to think about for the day. And some people choose to come in on the group site and post their response to that thought, which is a wonderful thing to be able to go and just read those posts. They're very wonderful. In fact, I know several friends have said they don't post on the wall, but they come and they read the post. So there's a message every day. You can contemplate that. You can come to the group wall and post, or just read the post, or maybe you don't even come to the group wall. Maybe you're just joining us. I had another friend that told me she just writes whatever the thought for the day is. She writes it in her calendar so she can remember during the day that this is what she's focusing on. It's a way to gather where two or more are together. There's, we increase the amount of power.
Yes, and we increase the love. And I think appreciation, when I was speaking to you the other day, I was laughing about it last evening with my husband because I had said to you, well, I think appreciation is foreplay to love. We've been enjoying our appreciations even more.
That's great.
It is.
Yes. So I'm going to enjoy doing some of this with you for the next 30 days because we're going to do a webinar with you on the art of appreciation, and lots of great guests that will come on and do webinars with us during the 30 days. But it's just a great group. I've had a lot of people message me in the last few days saying they miss it. They miss getting the messages, but they still come into the wall.
I like that very much. And I agree with you about there's something special about listening or reading what somebody else is thinking when they're thinking or writing this positive approach toward life. We get so much of the other stuff, need us not go there. It's just that it's so nice to gather together people of like minds who are deliberately creating words and thoughts that are positive in any form.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
Is it easy.
It's concentrated. Okay.
Definitely. I was going back to that list of appreciations that I felt that it would be a good idea for people to address. I was wondering if you could answer for us. I appreciate this about what I am manifesting into my future. I think it's really good to balance appreciations because sometimes we get so wrapped up into the present moment and into the past because, let's face it, every little manifested everything in our life is actually a result of our past. So when we focus our appreciations on the past or the present now, we are missing an opportunity to manifest what we desire into the future. And so I really liked when I do appreciations to balance my appreciations such that I can get going into my future in the right direction. So anyway, I had written, I'll share mine first. Let me find it. And it is that I appreciate, this is my future. Okay. I appreciate that I have an abundance of love, trust, joy, finances, clarity, strength, and optimism. So that's kind of vague, and I think it's good to start in a vague way when you start refocusing or focusing, especially when you deal with bringing yourself to that higher level of being able to manifest. Let me see. Here is what someone else wrote. This is from my friend Tracy Wallace, who is a dear friend of mine and has been quite inspirational and even somebody who got me going into documenting more formally and creating a book, The Art of Appreciations. I love her dearly. She wrote, I appreciate having the knowledge that I am creating the manifestation of my future by the thoughts that I am thinking today. We know this. We're law of attraction people, and yet it's really nice to hear other people know it too. Makes me feel comfortable. Here's what Eileen wrote. I appreciate that I always act from my well-being and am content in trusting my alignment with it, which brings me abundance in all areas of my life and in my body's health. So there are some appreciations that came in, and I love hearing them. It's like what you were saying about your post on the wall. What are in these the minds of our positive fellows, and it just makes me feel so connected to the oneness of us.
Mhm.
Did you have one?
Let me play. I did have, but I'm going to play with an idea. So, from the work that both of us are familiar with on the Abraham Hicks work, their latest thing that they've been talking about for the last however long, the vortex. What's in your vortex. So I'm going to appreciate what's in my vortex. That I don't have right this minute in my life. Definitely right this minute in my vortex, and that is a fabulous cruise down in someplace really warm. I'm not sure where it is, with women from the Women's Prosperity Network, and we literally have the whole entire ship to ourselves, and we are just frolicking for a week. And I just appreciate being able to do this with so many amazing women. Play, relax, eat, dance, lay around, sing. We do it all. We just do it all, and it's just absolutely over-the-top amazing.
Oh, wow.
And I appreciate it.
I appreciate listening to it. It makes me feel good.
So that could be a way to appreciate, is to appreciate the things that are in you've already created. They haven't been manifested yet in where you see them, touch them, feel them, but they are real.
They are, and you're reeling them in. I mean, it's a different reel, but it's reeling them in, and you're sort of you're hitching yourself to it, and you're reeling them in, and that's a really important way to manifest. And it brings your heart to the right place, because in order to obtain our manifestations, we have to really be ready to have them. And as well as I do, that you've experimented with manifesting, I'm sure, and I have too. It's the journey there, the believing in, and then finally getting there. And when the receiving is happening, it's at a place that it's so expected that it's just pure joy. But I was listening to Abraham recently make the statement that, and I kept listening to it over and over again because it just was resonating with me so deeply, is that just prior to our actually coming into that richness of our manifestation, it is there that we are holding the most joy that we can receive from it. So that's an amazing thought, that when we get to our manifestation, we've reached the destination, but the joy has just happened. Interesting, huh? Oh, I see a hand gone up. Is it because maybe, Pam, are you there? Oh, here. I'm having a technical challenge, which is all part of what I was anticipating. Again, we're there now.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Did you know I lost you for a moment?
Oh, I was gone. I was absolutely not on. But I know how to get back.
No, it's like getting in and out of the vortex.
That's right. In fact, I was listening to something last night from Abraham that said, the best part is getting in. It's not being in, it's getting in.
Yeah, that's exactly true. It's the journey, and even the contrast. I mean, when I first got into to Abraham, I got into the law of attraction first, and then, through that secret door. And then I started learning about Abraham, and it was such joy. And it took me a while to really have that idea that I could appreciate my contrasts happen to me. And now I do. I mean, I still admit that I have some work to do, because there are some times that I start going into a contrast, or when I don't realize I'm going into a contrast and I'm there. When I'm there and I'm kind of not totally aware that I was getting there, then I have a little harder time dealing with it. But lately, more and more so, I've been able to appreciate into and during and after my contrast. And one, it takes me out of contrast so much quicker. I learn from within my heart, and it's such a profound learning. And it's that. It's part of the journey.
It is. If there was no contrast, it would just be boring.
Oh, we could no longer exist. We would cease. So we need to have that. It's where we develop our desires, and our desires are bringing us forth. So I appreciate my contrasts.
Well, I want you to know, Peggy, right now, I take this as a sign. My entire house is vibrating because my tree trimmer is using his chopper, whatever you call that thing that eats up the branches, is causing my entire house to vibrate. There's no place I can go where my house is not vibrating. I take this as a good sign. I appreciate my house vibrating.
And I appreciate that in order for it to be at this state, there took a lot of efforts and energies and a lot of other creative parcels to come together. It's that coming together. It's that co-creation. And that's another thing that I've learned to appreciate so much, is that if it were to be just me in this world, then, it would be a very boring place too. And we have each other, and we co-create with each other, and it's such a thing to appreciate. And I thank you for every moment of our friendship and our co-creation.
Well, thank you, Peggy. And I appreciate, you know what I appreciate? I appreciate the amazing thing that the Internet is, and the amazing thing that Facebook is, and how many people I have been able to connect with as a result of Facebook and make friends with, like you, that this would have never happened. We're definitely living in a new age when we're able to pull in and attract so many people. It's just, I'm just in awe and appreciation over what we have with the Internet. We're on the Internet right now. We're on the phone, but I mean, maybe you're on the computer, I'm on the phone, but you're broadcasting on the Internet. How cool is this?
It's so cool. This morning, actually, Ori and I discovered that we could do this through Skype. And Skype is also just a complete Internet.
Exactly.
Although I'm using the phone because I thought, well, I know how to use the phone. I think maybe next week. So we're ready for that next week.
Yeah, great. Oh, Skype. Does that mean we could see you? No, you're just using it to call in.
I don't know. It's okay with me. I just have to put on some makeup. But I'm willing to do that. That would be kind of fun. I wonder if it's available. And that's exactly what it's all about. Our thoughts are creating things, so we know, if not now, eventually that will be available.
Absolutely, and not too far away, because the Internet is so much like I think the way the universe works. If you want to know something, you ask and it is given. Well, you Google and it's given. And you give like all kinds, just an abundance of possibilities when you just put anything in Google.
Oh, I think that's a beautiful expression, because it's a reflection of ourselves. And we are dreaming it up. We are creating this in front of us. And I'm so happy, and I appreciate so much that I have found so many wonderful friends on Facebook. I love you all so dearly. And I'm so in appreciation of this particular medium, this Blog Talk Radio, because it's actually, it's exactly what is the perfect environment for sharing appreciations, because it's so interactive.
Mhm.
I think we learn an awful lot, or a lot, not an awful lot, a good lot.
Awe. No, it's awe, A-W-E, awe.
Oh, I feel so much better. Thank you.
I appreciate that I'm alive right now to experience this shift that's happening, with the internet, that is just taking us into hyperdrive, hyperspeed. I'm just really, I feel so blessed to be here and to get to experience, this amazing increase in vibration and energy on the planet.
Yeah, it's in the air. We know it's here and it's tangible, it's before us in the computers and all, and yet it's in the air, and it's completely of its own course of action. It's just happening, and it has a desire to continue in that positive direction. So it's really lovely. Right now we're probably being listened to, and if not now, at other times, because this will be in an archive also, by people all around the world.
Mm.
And I'm pleased that I have.
And maybe beyond.
Beyond.
Remember that movie Spaceballs? They were watching I Love Lucy or something from up in space. Who knows who's listening?
Well, as soon as they get into this frequency, I think we'll start moving even faster. And that's what's so exciting. And appreciation is a tool in which we can find our way moving quicker, because we can refocus and re-energize ourselves just by a thought. And if we are discombobulated or confused about a thought in which we should choose, just start the thought, I appreciate, and you'll find your thought goes to a positive place.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I love about this. It's a way in which... Oh,
Peggy, did you talk, I'm sorry, you're kind of bleeping in and out, so I'm not sure when you're done talking. 10-4, no. Did you talk about, because I love the idea you shared with me the other day about how the word appreciation didn't exist, and at some point, it's fairly recent. Right.
I think it's fascinating. I originally came into this, if you will, kind of extreme realization of appreciation by listening to Esther Hicks through Esther Hicks Abraham speak about the difference between appreciation and gratitude. And I listened to it over and over again, and then I kept writing things down, and I kept going to the dictionary, and I kept looking up things and trying to find my way, and because I felt it touched my heart, because it stated that appreciation was something different than gratitude, and I felt that they were the same, and I learned that gratitude was more from a place of thankfulness, which comes from asking something that you want, so more of a struggle, and appreciation was more like a gift or a blessing or a grace that I was able to continue. The other thing Eileen Zylon mentioned to me that was an awareness is that appreciation is something that does continue, whereas thank you, it feels like you're finished, and I love that. But I'm off the subject a little bit, and I want to get to it because I wanted to preface it in that way. And when I started reading about appreciation, I realized that it was a word that was only created into language, period, language. So it wasn't like left there in the Greek and we weren't using it or any of that. It wasn't from the old Germanic or the Celtics. It is a brand new word, and it started around the year, or between the year, being very generous with the range, 1600 to 1648 or 50, around in that area, but more toward the end of that time. So in the middle of the 1600s, appreciation was first used, and it was used to appreciate the value of something. It was not used before that. It's a brand new word. It's a word that Christ did not use. And I think that's amazing, because if it were available to the understanding of what appreciation is, Christ would have used it. We were unavailable to the knowledge of it or to understanding it. So I just love the idea that the word appreciation and the action of appreciation is something that's new and modern and now, and it's ready, and we're ready for it too. And we have to first see that it is something a little different and give it our notice and try and play with it and see what it does for us.
Mhm.
So I found that interesting. It's in the Bible. You could look it up if you want to, but the Bible uses other words. It uses love. And some interpreters have changed it in more modern years and put appreciation in there. But appreciation is something new and is something different. And I love that. It's like the Internet. It's new.
Mhm. Right. Oh, I have you coming in on my computer, too. I just came into my office, and you're on the computer. I got to shut you off there, or you'll be hearing yourself talk.
Yeah, I can hear something in the background. Anyway, I know that you're going to be using appreciation as a theme for your 30-day shift, this next set of 30 days. When does that start, did you say?
That will start on April 28th. And people can join if they aren't already with us through Facebook and just type in 30-day shift and you'll find the group. And all you have to do is hit join and you're in. And you'll start getting, on the 28th, you'll start getting messages on a daily basis for, a theme for appreciation for that particular day. And then also we will be having webinars available for those who want to partake in that, 20 to 30-minute webinars on different things that will support us in appreciation, and I know you're scheduled to be on first. And then I've got another lady that's going to do some amazing things with us at this point, and we'll see where we go from there because we're making this up as we go.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good way to start. And I believe that appreciation is an actual state of happiness. And I've heard Abraham say that. I think that it's such an honor to hear that because when I hear that and it resonates with me and it really gets into my heart, what else or what other things is there available to us that actually goes along in that sentence, that a state of appreciation is a state of godliness? I mean, we've heard that love is a state of godliness, and I know I've heard that cleanliness is a state of godliness. But it's so wonderful that appreciation is a state of godliness. I meant godliness. This is nice.
Yes.
I love everything that Abraham says, and it seems like whenever I hear the word appreciation, my ears perk up. I could be anywhere. I could be in a store. I could be listening to TV. Not that I do that very often, but when I do, I hear the word appreciation when people speak. Like my ears perk up and my heart starts glowing, and I say, oh, it's so wonderful to hear people appreciate,
Why don't we do some?
Okay,
Let's do some appreciations. I know you're really good at leading this, so why don't you lead me, and I'll just jump right in with you.
Okay, I'm just going to appreciate whatever comes off the top of my head. Okay, and let's just do a little time check so that we can we have 11 minutes.
Okay.
So let's.
You appreciate your hair? That's the top of your head.
I've got to do it at the top of my head. I appreciate that I went and had a cut yesterday, and I appreciate that when I got my hair cut, I realized that I was speaking to the lady who was doing my hair. She's a wonderful lady who I appreciate. She speaks Spanish as a first language, and I appreciate that she agreed to receive my book both in English and in Spanish, because it's being translated into Spanish now, and she would really go back and forth, and I appreciate that she's going to look at the book for consistency between them. Oh. And I said to her, I know, I'm so excited about this, because the book itself, I appreciate that it comes from or out of me It comes to me and out of me from my life experience. And my life experience includes having been a Catholic. And I appreciate that I have been a Catholic. And I know in the Abraham circle, sometimes you'll hear somebody in the hot seat mention that they are a Catholic, and you'll hear the audience giggle and laugh. And my heart has so much compassion for that because I come from that place. And I appreciate so much that I have become more than a Catholic. So the book addresses that responsibly and considerably for the benefit of the fact that I appreciate that I was a Catholic. So there's some
I too appreciate that I was a Catholic, and all the rich ritual that was involved in that. There was a lot of ritual, and it was very rich, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the convictions my parents had, and that they passed that deep spirituality. Although I've taken it in a different direction, for them it was very deep spiritually, and so I grew up in that environment. They had us sit down every weeknight and say the rosary together. And, the rosary is basically a meditation. So every night for years, my family sat down together for 15 minutes and meditated together. I mean, that's I think it's pretty phenomenal. So I appreciate that. And my dad is still goes to church every single day. And I appreciate that is a rich part of his life, and it supports him. My mom passed over 12 years ago now, and I know that has been, for him, a very stable place in his life.
Indeed. I appreciate very similar thoughts. My parents are elderly, and they listen to the Mass on the Internet, hooray for change, every single morning. And I think it just brings them so much stability into their lives and healing. And I appreciate that I have been able to, as I've walked now into the law of attraction through that lovely secret door, and I can see that in my heart of hearts, when I make a comparison, and I can only do that because it's my nature, with what I've learned and where I am, is I can actually compare things in my Catholicism to the experiences that I'm looking at newly in my law of attraction world. And I appreciate that I can actually take a theory or a belief in Catholicism. Let's take an example like sacrament. Mm-hmm. And I can apply it to what I'm experiencing in my law of attraction lifestyle. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that I found Abraham. That Abraham found me. Somebody actually gave some tapes to my husband about 14 years ago, and he just put them on the counter and left them there until I got curious and put them in a player. And my life's never been the same since. And I so appreciate on a daily basis. I've never appreciated something so much on a daily basis as the information I get from Abraham that supports me in just being more of who I am and giving me tools to support me in life and living a life of appreciation.
Absolutely. I, too, feel appreciation, great, deep appreciation for Esther and Jerry and for Abraham. And I feel that I've learned so much about myself and following the good feelings that I have from what I learned in the teachings of Abraham. It's just an incredible new direction. And it's such I think it's a movement that's happening among people, and it seems to me I feel so fortunate. Sometimes I say, why did it take so long that I got to hear this, and why, I spend so much of my life in a different place, and then I realize, well, what am I saying? I am just so much in appreciation for I finally get it, and I appreciate Abraham. I also feel I hear Abraham, so I appreciate the connection that I have to my own inner being. And I think that I would have missed that totally if I had just stayed, had not attracted, and of course it was always intended that I would attract the law of attraction into my life. So I love the idea that I have that within me. I have Abraham within me. You have Abraham within you. We all have the capability of this phenomenal love, this immense knowledge and this wisdom that takes us into another dimension. And I am so in appreciation of Abraham and the teachings I receive through them.
And that makes me appreciate Esther and Jerry, and I just love their energy and their playfulness and the model they are for relationship for me and for life, a life of having fun, because I'm all about fun. And so I appreciate them as well.
Indeed. Oh, it feels so good to breathe in the universe and appreciate everything that we have, and having positive conversation that seems to flow into each other. It's like this easy flow. My appreciation sounds like your appreciations. Yours sound like mine. And I appreciate that harmony and that oneness that has been created in this awareness.
I don't think if you appreciate it, it doesn't seem like somebody could object, could they? Maybe they could, but, it'd be kind of hard.
That is true. It leaves argument far behind, and I appreciate that whenever you appreciate, it's sort of doing that. You're getting close to God, and you're able to express yourself in ways that, are uncommonly beautiful. And the more you appreciate on any subject, on any issue, and for any reason, at any time, and it's always available. It's just a thought away. It brings you and it lifts you up. And I sincerely hope that this program is doing that. We have 2 minutes left, and I'd like to say that as some closing remarks to the audience and to you, Pam. It's Pam Adair, Adair. So for those of you who are looking for Pam, you'll be able to find her. And I just appreciate having this opportunity. I hope that everybody, and I know it's just the way it has to be and the way it's going. And I love this teaching, and I love this learning, and I love this sharing. And I thank everybody for joining us. And Pam, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
I appreciate you, Peggy, and what you're sharing with everyone so freely, and that you're stepping out onto this Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get something together, like some music in the beginning of the show, and learn how to create more of a switchboard and do more interaction as I learn. It's just such a wonderful adventure. And, it's like I say, it's a perfect forum, and I believe that this is also the perfect subject. I thank you so much, Pam, for calling in, and Jenna, you too. That was a really great conversation. I love all the appreciations we received, and I guess from here I have a few seconds to say I appreciate everyone, and I appreciate everything, and I appreciate everything.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all again for joining me, and I humbly come before you and say appreciate everything in your life. And I, with pride, come before you and say appreciate everything in my life. And the more I appreciate, the more I have. And I hear so many people asking for abundance. This is an avenue to that. Enjoy your abundance and appreciate it all. Goodbye.